Alright, we're going to tie up a mop fly tonight. In honor of me getting a new camera, I'm going to try doing it live instead of voicing over afterwards. So here it is. This is a chartreuse mop. If you've watched any of my videos, you've heard me say chartreuse mop over and over and over again because it works. So I am not going to show you anything new tonight. This is exactly how Devin Olson will tie this particular pattern, and I'm just doing it really because I want to test out this camera and this microphone. So to get us started off, we're going to go with a size 12 jig hook and a size 3.8 black nickel slotted tungsten bead. In this case, I've managed to get some black nickel disco beads, so I'm going to try those out this year and see if we can add just a little bit more bling to the mop fly. What I got here is some 8/0 chartreuse Veevus, and this number I believe is 15, but it's the chartreuse color, not the fluorescent green color, and we'll see why in a minute. So just go ahead and get your thread started on your hook, and then go up to the bead and try to build up a thread dam behind that bead to hold it in place. These disco beads have a very large slot for some reason. Probably not the highest quality, but if you just keep working at it, you'll get it to stop moving around. Alright, that's what we want. Now we're just going to put a little bit of thread on the hook for something for this mop fly body to grab onto. That should be good enough. Alright, next up is the mop fly bodies, and this particular brand is B&C Fishing Supplies. Alright, so why do I spend extra money and buy these B&C Fishing Supplies? Well, check this out. You see how they glow the exact same color as the thread? That's what I'm after. I want these to glow in the UV light. And I think, it might not be true, but I think that they fish better. If both the thread and the body are glowing, who knows, maybe the fish don't have an idea. Alright, so before I get started, I like to size up the body. So I kind of want the tail, if you'd call it a tail, to be as long as the hook shank, and so it looks like I got to cut off about 1/4 of an inch, so about that much. So I'll just snip that much off. Then go ahead and grab your fly tire Z-ment. Give it a little dab on the hook shank, something for the body to grab onto here. Go ahead, grab your body, kind of lay it right down behind the bead, and then get a loose wrap, pull it tight, get some more in there, and then kind of angle it back towards you and give 4 spiral wraps backwards, and then 4 spiral wraps forwards, and end up right behind the bead. We're not trying to win any fly tying contests here. We're trying to catch fish. So yes, that looks terrible, but we're going to dress it up a little bit with some Scud dubbing. And I chose light gray in this one. So if you want to see that light gray Scud, grab yourself a little pinch. And we're just going to fill in the spot behind the bead that is in front of that mop body. So I usually go about 3 inches or so. Let's see how that looks. I kind of don't want there to be any gap between the bead and where I cinched down the mop fly body. That looks about right. And then all we got to do is whip finish. So I like to do a 3 turn first. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, pull that a little bit, and then go in 1, 2, 3, 4, and cinch that thing down. Cut the thread. like these fibers sticking out front, but there she is. That is a chartreuse mop fly. I catch a ton of fish on it. I also like to tie these up in 2 other colors. So I got a tan one. Again, just use tan thread this time, but the same materials otherwise. Size 12 jig hook, 3.8 millimeter bead, light gray South Scud up front for the collar. And then cream is also another go-to for me. And you have exact same recipe, even the same thread it looks like. I tied this one on as I did with the tan one. So you might want to use a white thread or a light tan in those 2 cases. But that's all there is to it. They're one of the simplest flies to tie and they catch fish. So how do I fish it? Alright, I fish it primarily in 2 different ways. So I will put this as my point fly, and then what I'll do is I will put, if I need to, a heavy fly up top, heavy fly down bottom. This one's probably going down bottom, and the other heavy fly, like a Pat's Rubber Legs or some other heavy fly, would be up top, kind of trailing this one behind. And then my most effective way of rigging these is when I put this fly on the dropper and then 2 feet goes down to the point fly, and I'll put on a size 16 anything. Doesn't matter what it is, waltz worm, Frenchie, doesn't matter. What happens is I think this fly changes the characteristics of that second fly and drags it along maybe a little bit more realistic, but definitely this fly gets their attention, and then they see the second one right behind it and they go ahead and hit it. And if you read about the mop fly, you'll find that Devin Olson wrote an article about it that even he talked about that, and I've noticed it in my own experience catching fish with this thing. I do get skunked with this. I will try it every place I go. I don't care if we're fishing for bluegill in a pond, I'm going to throw this on there and try it. When it works, sometimes it will be like gangbusters. I watched my best friend catch about 9 fish in 15 minutes on a mop fly, and he never moved his feet. And he had on chartreuse, I had on tan, and I caught 1 fish. And we were less than 10 feet apart. So I'd give it a try. Don't scoff at it. Yeah, it's non-traditional, but if you're out there to catch fish, I highly encourage you to try it and to give it an honest effort. Give it 10 minutes in a hole that you know there's fish in and see what happens, and you'll probably be surprised. I hope this helps you out, and I hope this video isn't crappy with this new camera. We'll catch you next time.